Vanakkam and welcome to the South Indian. My name is Sudha Sadanand. And let's get started with the show with the top headlines from the south of India on your screens right now. KTR challenges Revant Reddy to discuss Formula E graft case in the State Assembly. BRS workers hold demonstrations outside the State Assembly demanding justice for auto rickshaw drivers. Karnataka Assembly approves additional cess on vehicle registration, ₹1,000 cess on four-wheelers, 500 on two-wheelers in the state. BJP leader Harsha accused of attempting to bribe Snemai Krishna to withdraw from the Mura case against Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Cold wave grips Karnataka. Temperature drops to 2 to 3 degrees Celsius below normal in Bengaluru. Northern Karnataka sees a drop of 6 to 7 degrees. And news from the world of sports. Ravichandran Ashwin announces retirement from international cricket after Brisbane Test. And let's tell you what's coming up in the South Indian today. 9-year-old boy injured in the Sandhya Theatre Stampede during Pushpa 2 screening suffers severe brain damage. Recovery expected to take a long time. Karnataka BJP President BYV Vijayendra meets Prime Minister Modi even as rebel Yatnal wait to meet top leadership continues. Has Yatnal been snubbed? CAG report reveals massive shortage of essential drugs in Karnataka as Health Minister Dinesh Gundurao cornered. That's the lead story. Sandhya Theatre Stampede. Boy suffers serious brain damage and all prayers for his recovery. The condition of 9-year-old boy Sritej, who was injured during a stampede at Sandhya Theatre in Hyderabad during Pushpa 2 premiere on 4th of December, remains critical. As per latest reports, the boy has suffered severe damage to his brain and is on ventilator support in the intensive care unit at KIMS Hospital. Hyderabad City Police Commissioner C.V. Anand and Telangana Government Health Secretary Dr. Christina visited KIMS Hospital on behalf of the Telangana government to inquire after the health condition of Sritej. Later, speaking to the media, C.V. Anand said that the health bulletin confirmed that Sritej had indeed suffered severe brain damage and that his recovery would take a considerable amount of time.
As you know, a lady died named Revati and her son Sritej, 9-year-old, was brought after being given CPR by the police personnel there, was shifted to KIMS Hospital, and since that day he's been here under treatment. He's been unconscious for a majority of the time. He's been on ventilator support. There is some signs of activity in the brain because this is brain damage due to lack of oxygen supply during the stampede, and the doctors have opined that to be a long haul for the brain to develop the capacity to analyze signals, and till then the treatments, the protocols which have to be followed by the hospital is being done.
Once again, here's wishing Sritej all the best and a speedy recovery. Let's get to the next story, and coming up next on your screens is this story that we are focusing on. Vijayendra meets Prime Minister Modi. Has Yatnal been snubbed? Let's get you all the details of this ongoing tussle within the Karnataka BJP unit, where battle lines are drawn between Basnagowda Patil Yatnal and State Unit President BY Vijayendra. It is only time before one knows who shall go past the winning line. The latest in this public display of a war within the party, Vijayendra managed a 15-minute conversation with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and took the opportunity to inform him about the work done by him as president of the state unit in the last 1 year. Vijayendra also presented a booklet to Prime Minister Narendra Modi listing details about the Padayatra he undertook to protest against Muda, the Waqf campaign, the membership campaign, etc. etc. Prime Minister Modi questioned BY Vijayendra about the defeats faced by the party in the 3 by-elections, even as Vijayendra explained the various shortcomings in the electoral process and also as to why the party lost. After the Prime Minister's visit, the BJP state president also asked for some time to meet with Home Minister Amit Shah. And so far as Yatnal is concerned, the man who has been mounting attacks after BY Vijayendra, after his meeting with the disciplinary committee many weeks ago, he is still awaiting for getting some time from the top brass in Delhi. What is it? Has Yatnal been snubbed? Is that a signal? Do we know what's going to come and become of the BJP in Karnataka? Let me now go across to my colleague, Mohammad Wajiullah. If this indicates whether Yatnal has truly been snubbed by the top leaders in Delhi. Waji, good to see you. Waji, tell me something. I know that it's been a very, very kind of, what we have witnessed in the House today, the debates, etc. It's been a very busy session. But Vijayendra got time with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, had a lot of time, to explain what he has done, etc., etc. Whereas Yatnal has been waiting. After he was summoned by the disciplinary committee also, he said, oh, we will let you know what my thoughts are after this, etc. After that, there has been pin drop silence, then Belagavi happens. But as of now, Yatnal has not got any time from the top brass in Delhi. Yatnal snubbed? Vaji, what do you think?
Sudha, this is one thing that none of us have had an idea about. All this while, Yatnal had been creating this pressure that he's going to meet the High Command, he's in Delhi, Command is listening to him. But this 15-minute session that Vijayendra had with top bosses of the BJP, with the Prime Minister itself, clearly gives an indication to everybody in the party that who holds the president's post over here, who has an upper hand when it comes to the BJP. And this particular picture that we are seeing on our screen is a message to all the rebel leaders from Vijayendra, because like you mentioned, Yatnal has been snubbed. He was there 2 weeks back when he was called by the disciplinary committee. He also met the JPCC president, but none of them met the high command over there, or the entire rebel leadership was there. They tried their best to meet them, but that did not happen. And now Vijayendra meets the Prime Minister. So that turns out to be big. And like you mentioned, he's already told him about, in that 15 minutes conversation, he informed him about the reasons why they did not win. He even slipped into the fact that there is an infighting that is also going on within the party. And he also told him about how the further course of action is with regards to the other scam. So Vijayendra clearly showing an upmanship, showing who's the boss when it comes to Karnataka BJP.
Right, but Vijayendra went there with an intent, and Yatnal is waiting in the wings. He of course met Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh. So the thing is that we've done several stories on this. Will Yatnal separate from the party and start his own party? Experts say very unlikely, considering he's very well respected within the BJP and the people like him. And also the Panchamashali agitation which is going on, he seems to be one leader who's going ahead with it. But clearly, Wajiullah, the top brass sitting in Delhi who make most of the decisions, they are very clear that Vijayendra it will be, or rather as of now, as of today, it seems that Vijayendra is their favorite child, Wajiullah.
Yes, Sudha, with this particular picture, it is very clear right now that Vijayendra is the one who is going to front the party for the coming time also. And this entire rebellion has got a message right now that the Prime Minister has met Vijayendra despite the fact that you all were there in Delhi. And now it's high time that the rebellion realizes the fact that because in the BJP, nobody is higher than the Prime Minister or the High Command. At least in the Congress, you would see still dissent, even if you're not allowed given a meeting with the top command, you will see dissent and everything. But in the BJP, that's not the case. It's directly understood that who the Prime Minister wants to meet, and he's meeting him, and that is what the Prime Minister wants. And that's how the functionary works. And this is a clear indication that the favorite child right now is Vijayendra. Though Yatnal is one of the most important leaders for the BJP because he holds one of the North Karnataka regions for them, and he's also a big leader. That's why him forming a party is not going to be a likely scenario in the coming few months or a year or in the future also. But he will continue to be a crucial part. Yes, in the reshuffle or in the cabinet, in the party movement, they might give him a bigger role, but it remains to be seen how after coming back, because he's still going to be there. He's asked for time from Amit Shah also, which is not being given to him as of now because Amit Shah is busy till the 20th of this month. So he's waiting for that also. If that happens, then he will also let the High Command also know about the issues that he has been facing, and we will finally come to find a solution after this meeting with Amit Shah that happens with Vijayendra. Right. And that is when we'll get to know the clear picture, the role of Yatnal and the role of Vijayendra in the party. Right now, it's very clear who's the boss.
Yes, right now it's very clear, Vaji, like you say, who's the boss and who's the favorite child. But of course, time will tell whether this confusion ends the war between Yatnal and Vijayendra. Thank you so much, as always, Mohammad Wajiullah, for joining us on the broadcast. And the next story is also coming from Karnataka, and this is an unmissable story. CAG report reveals massive shortage of essential drugs in Karnataka. Is Health Minister Dinesh Gundu Rao cornered? That's the question we are asking. All right, that is the one that we are asking. Massive shortage according to CAG report of essential drugs, ladies and gents, in Karnataka. The man in the picture, Health Minister of Karnataka, Dinesh Gundu Rao. Now, a report by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, that is CAG, has revealed the pathetic state of healthcare system in Karnataka. I'm saying pathetic with careful consideration. The report said that health institutions in the state had glaring shortages in the number of essential drugs, much less than the Indian public health standard norms. You know what? One is reminded of the unnecessary deaths of 6 new mothers in Ballari on 7th of December who lost their lives due to the contaminated ringer lactate IV fluid. Even as the pharma company which supplied the fluid has been blacklisted, the CAG report is a serious indictment on Karnataka's healthcare system. According to the report, the Karnataka State Medical Supplies Corporation Limited, or KSM SEL, had between 2017-18 and 2021-22 not procured all the essential drugs. Of the 761 essential drugs that health institutions needed for in 2020-21, only 238 were procured and 55 were allowed to be procured by the institutions locally. You know what? If one talks about district hospitals, then they had less than 50 essential drugs against the requirement of 128. And taluk hospitals had only 35 or less essential drugs against the requirement of 81. To sum up, none of the health institutions had the prescribed number of very essential and most essential drugs. In 2016-22, across all the 5 districts which have been taken into account in this report, Ballari, Bengaluru Urban, Dharwad, Kolar and Mysuru, the supply of drugs was consistently below 35%. Now, the Bengaluru-based firm, Karnataka Antibiotics and Pharmaceuticals Limited, or KAPL, was found to have delayed the supply of drugs worth rupees 5.17 crores by nearly 2 years. Yes, 2 years, causing an additional expenditure of 59.60 crores to the KSMCL. What is most glaring and shocking in the context of the recent Ballari deaths is that 12 batches of 7 drugs supplied by KAPL were declared not of standard quality by the drugs controller. Also, expired drugs worth rupees 23.03 crores in 2019-22 not being disposed of and being stored alongside regular drugs. In such a scenario, how fair is it for Health Minister Dinesh Gundu Rao to lay the blame on caesarean section deliveries for faulty ringer lactate fluid which caused the deaths of 6 women in Ballari? Shouldn't the healthcare system be overhauled? Now, Dinesh Gundu Rao highlighted the fact that C-section deliveries had increased to 46% this year from 35% in 2021-22 and said that private hospitals were always in a rush to perform this surgery, and also added that the government was ready to pay government hospitals money for encouraging normal deliveries. Great. Meanwhile, LOP R. Ashoka blamed the medical mafia for the situation in the state. He said, and I am quoting him here, expired medicines were administered to patients. Pregnant women are dying. This government is caught in the grip of a medical mafia. even as Dinesh Gundu Rao has refused the setting up of an SIT or a judicial probe. Will this government initiate reforms at least in the healthcare system? Let me now go across to the guest. We are awaiting someone from the BJP, but Satya Prakash, spokesperson for the KPCC, has joined us. A very warm welcome to you, Satya. Good to have you on the show. Satya, what is this? Expired drugs, delayed drugs, no drugs, essential drugs, zero, most essential drugs, zero. This report is a serious indictment on the healthcare system in Karnataka. And let me also add, I have added the Ballari deaths to this because in the Ballari death also there was a serious breach. And let me add, amongst all the South Indian states, I think Karnataka does very poorly when it comes to maternal mortality rate, Satya.
Hi Sudha, good evening.
Hi.
Good evening. I had gone through the report that you suggested. I think it's just come and taken around or something. These figures are relating to 2016 to 2022. And these figures are also for the period of 22 to 23. So this is not a real reflection of the Congress government which started its government from 2023 May or June. Okay. But I am not saying everything is very, very good right now from 2023 to 24. Yes, there have been problems. There have been short supplies of essential drugs. And since most of the patients who go to these government hospitals come from lower strata of the society, it is a must that the government should have all the essential drugs at least in the hospitals so that the poor patients need not go outside and fall prey to the medical mafia, the medical stores outside the hospital. In most of the categories, if you see even district hospitals or even, in taluk hospitals, more than 65 to 75% of the drugs are there. Another 30-35% of the drugs, there are some lacunae there. But in few cases for district hospitals and all, the district hospitals can buy them locally. But the point is, whenever district hospitals or any hospital try to procure them locally, it will be more than the DGSND prices as put by the government. DGSND prices we can procure at a much lesser price, and whenever you try to procure locally, your price will be high. That is for sure. So there is no doubt that the present government and our Congress government, wherever there is a shortage of these supplies, we have to make sure that essential supplies are made to those hospitals. We have to do an audit. Whichever hospitals are well below, if someone is saying 50 less in district hospitals have to have 128 essential drugs and there are 55 less. I think the health department has to, and the health ministry should go and do an audit, and wherever possible, we have to see that those medicines are there at the respective hospitals.
Satya,
I'm
I'm so happy that you're not just a political spokesperson because you had a career in pharma and you understand what it means. I'm so happy that someone like you is on the show, because unlike other spokespersons who will come and defend their party to the hilt, you are saying we need an audit because this is about human lives, Satya Prakash. Even the other day when you spoke about Ballari, you said the same thing. It's about women. How can we even defend ourselves? Please hold your thought there, Satya. I'm going to come back. I'm going to take a break. Ladies and gents, see you on the other side. The CAG report in Karnataka says major lacunae so far as essential and most essential medicines are concerned in the state. What's the story? See you on the other side. Do not miss this.
Valuations can be frothy. Going public is almost like what some of us would like to say is the holy game, right? IPOs are a trend, not a bubble.
Do secondary markets exist? Answer is absolutely yes, and it's been around for a very long time.
Valuations could be high or low, and valuations may correct over time, but IPOs are here to stay. It is basically a graduation ceremony of sorts. It is potentially where a startup stops being a startup and starts becoming an enterprise.
The IPO space has just started in the past 24 months. The startup ecosystem has been around for 15 years.
Fundamentally, if you have a strong business and you have predictability of cash flows and you can actually give with a fair degree of confidence where the business is headed, the market will reward you.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Challenge is part of business.
Success to me means achieving a lot with limited resources.
It is the idea of bringing the best of East and West together.
You're watching the South Indian on News9, and that's our main story of debate. According to CAG, massive shortage of essential drugs in Karnataka. We are debating that. I have Satya Prakash, spokesperson for the KPCC, and let me also add that he is somebody who said that if there is a lacune, our health system needs an overhaul. He did not play politics today, but spoke like, any human being should. Bhaskar Rao, spokesperson for the BJP, has also joined us. Mr. Rao, welcome to the show, Mr. Rao.
Thank you.
What is shocking is that there are major, lacunae when it comes to essential drugs, most essential drugs. There are drugs which expiry dates. There are drugs which have been delivered with much delay. 2 years in some cases it has taken. Taluka hospital, district hospitals, all of them. So the health system is in a shambles. Of course, you can say, oh, it was then the BJP government, now it is the Congress government, but I am looking at it through the prism of the Ballari deaths, where the ring lactate, the IV fluid which is given to these new mothers, which caused the death, and what deaths, multiple organ failures, etc., etc. Then the health minister says, oh, C-sections have increased, we have to decrease it. As if it's a choice made by women, Mr. Rao. I think Dinesh Gundu Rao is barking up the wrong tree, Mr. Rao. It's all in a shambles, and in a cover-up, he is running helter-skelter, Mr. Rao.
See, in the interest of larger interest, cutting across all political parties, I would say that he should constitute the SIT or allow a judicial inquiry to take place, because he has himself admitted that pharmaceutical companies have gone out of control and they are literally running the system, and they have hijacked the medical industry itself. So by merely suspending the drug controller, it is absolutely not enough. This kind of corruption is going to go on. The officers here are absolutely well entrenched, and these medicines are manufactured only for government supplies. Nobody in the private sector buys these medicines. They are meant only to be supplied to government hospitals. They are of very poor quality, substandard quality, and the people who have died, they will have no strength even to come back. So Dinesh Gundu Rao should not shy away from a thorough inquiry in this matter over there. Whosoever is guilty should be punished, and they should be thoroughly be punished. And if you have seen a couple of years ago or 2-3 years ago, medicine supplies to Gambia were halted by the United Nations because they were of very substandard and poor quality over there. Nobody went to jail, nobody was punished. Whereas if you see in Japan, one of the leading manufacturing companies, when they had an issue, the managing director and others had to step down after a police investigation, and they were brought to book over it. Even within our own country, leading pharmaceutical companies like Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and others have been punished. But why is Dinesh Gundu Rao protecting these people under the name of...
No, Mr. Rao, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, he has, of course, the company which is a West Bengal based company, that has been blacklisted. But my question is, why is Dinesh Gundu Rao? He even yesterday said that no SIT, no judicial probe. And I do not know.
It sends a very bad signal in larger interest. And this is, okay, as Satyaprakash has very generously seen that it is across parties, I would concur with him over there. At least the system will get cleaned. Register an FIR in Bellary. Let the health department itself register an FIR in Bellary. Arrest the managing director of Paschim Bengal Medicines over there. Subject this to forensic tests over there and carry on a proper police investigation either through a SIT or a judicial inquiry. Why is he fighting shy of not bringing these people to book? That creates doubts. That doubt should not be created in larger public interest.
Prakash, let me come to you now, and I like the way the debate is going because we are looking at it through the prism of humanism more than anything else. Satya Prakash, I don't understand, talking about Ballari, which Mr. Rao also brought up, I don't understand what Dinesh Gundu Rao is saying that, 46% it has increased, it is now C-sections, now he is going to incentivize government hospitals to perform normal deliveries. Satya Prakash, anyone who has basic knowledge, wait a minute, knows that cesarean is not an option that I can choose. Here you see a woman, 2 cesareans. I did not have an option. I cannot give birth normally. They said your life is in danger. They cut me up. It's not that I choose it. I am saying this is, since I have read it, I have been disturbed. To say that, oh, don't do this. No one is doing it, sir. There are cases where the woman is in trauma, the unborn child is in trauma. You have to cut the woman up to get the baby out. What kind of an argument is this to cover up for the Ballari disaster and tragedy, Satya?
Sudha, first let me make it very clear that is a different issue, this is a different issue. What Mr. Dinesh Gundu Rao said was, the normal average in a government hospital C-section is around 35%. While in all the private hospitals, it is 85 to 90%. This is a huge aberration. While the national average is around 35 to 40%. National average in private hospitals also is around 50 to 55%. But in Karnataka, the private hospitals C-section cesarean operations is to an extent of 85 to 90%, which is abnormal, is what Mr. Gundu Rao has said. And what he said is there will be a policy to make an audit. See, keep putting a mother into an OT where they give, all whatever is needed for sedation and etc. to do a surgical procedure. It puts the mother and the child under tremendous risk. All Mr. Gundu Rao is saying is whether the doctor has taken the right decision.
Of course, he has. Why are you doubting the doctor? See, my whole point is, Satya, it will go somewhere else. Let's focus on this. Deaths happened in Ballari. Stick to that. Look at it. Your CAG report indicts all parties here. It is not about BJP. It's about expiry dates. It's about no medicines, essential and most essential medicines, Satya Prakash. He should be concentrating on overhauling the health system. Instead, he is running hither and thither. He says, no, of course I accept, but I will not establish an SIT or a judicial probe. I accept that it is very tragic. But the point is, it's about cesarean, because only in cesareans do you require that IV fluid, because a woman cannot eat or drink for 24 hours. So he's only focusing. It's a cover-up. I think instead he should be overhauling the healthcare system, which he is not doing. At first he says, I will resign. I mean, he's running a... Go ahead, Satya.
Sudha, definitely all the shortages in government hospitals have to be looked in. I'm not saying no. Why should the poor patient suffer? Another thing is, all the medicines are available, but these medicines are not available for free in government hospitals, is what the CAG report has said. And CAG report is not referring to only this year. CAG report is referring from 2016 to 2022. And from 22 to 23 also. So this report is not only with respect to this year, it is with respect to earlier years.
Come in, Mr. Rao. Do come in, Mr. Rao.
Minister, order an inquiry. Why are you fighting shy of an inquiry? Let an inquiry take place, because he has himself admitted that the medical companies and pharmaceutical companies have become uncontrollable. So this is a good opportunity for you to have a SIT or a judicial inquiry. Let them be brought to book, as Sudha is correctly mentioning it.
Yes, why not? Why not do it? I mean, look, Mr. Rao, my whole point is, deaths happened, then this CAG report came. When I read it this morning, I was shocked. And my reporter also told me about it, and he said that among several other issues, this came up. expiry date, everything. What happened was, there was a big, even initially in the Ballari thing, Mr. Rao, there was, are there IV, fluids? They are to be doubted. No, we will talk about it later. After that, the health minister comes out and he says cesarean section. What has cesarean got to do? For God's sake, if I have to be given anesthesia for a tonsillitis, you see to it that they are in good shape, right? They are not contaminated. Why is it when the batch from the same company earlier was rejected, it was accepted yet again, Mr. Bhaskar Rao?
That's what I'm telling, Sudha. Let him not fight shy and try to defend. It is sending a very wrong signal. After all, whom is he trying to defend? Let an inquiry take place, guilty come out. Why is that managing director of Paschim Bengal Medical not been arrested till now? 6 deaths have taken place, the latest having taken place in Gulbarga. Yesterday morning it has taken place. Do you want to wait for some more deaths or a series of more deaths for him to wake up? Resigning, instead of resigning, let him order an immediate inquiry and take criminal action against these people. This is nothing but absolutely criminal action, and let none be defended on this count.
Satya Prakash, I want to also ask you that your government is very Satya, say
the
that
departmental inquiry is already on, Bhaskar now. Departmental inquiry is on. They are trying to find the cause. One of the causes right now is that the ringer lactate, whichever that IV fluid is there. Still, there's no, they've not come to any conclusion as such. As soon as the departmental inquiry is over and they come to a conclusion that whether ringer lactate or there was any other problem, they come to a conclusion that the departmental inquiry is on. So let the department come out with its findings, and then if need be, we can do an SIT also, we can do other probes also, under a retired judge or something. And we need to understand another thing, Mr. Bhaskar, that this is a very legal medical case. Yes, SIT or anything will not give much justice. Instead of that, a team of experts, a team of doctors, pharmacologists should get into it and find out the real deaths. And we need to see that, no more deaths happen. Don't be under the presumption that female mortality is not happening, maternal mortality is not happening. Lot of maternal mortalities are happening either way. More than 10 to 15% is happening.
Yeah, Satya, I want to ask you that this CAG report, of course, does the government have any plans to, overhaul the system? I can give you examples of several states in the south. Look at Kerala, look at Tamil Nadu, look at Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. They've all overhauled. Apart from Arogyashree, which they gave in the Telugu-speaking state, the thing is that they saw to it that they overhaul it. Today, when you compare North and the South is way ahead so far as healthcare is concerned. People go there for treatments. I am asking you, Satya Prakash, Gundu Rao may have gotten himself into a twist because of this Ballari deaths. But is there a plan? First of all, like Mr. Bhaskar Rao says, there has to be punishment given to these people because those 6 children are orphaned today. They don't have a mother and lives have been lost. And the thing is that lives are, And today, I want to ask you, what is the government going to do? Because your government says they are for the poor people. You are giving, Annabhagya, Grihalakshmi, everything you are giving, Shakti, all the free the guarantees. What is this is a major lacuna in your government so far as the healthcare system is concerned.
Let us take the CAG report as it has come, and let me take it very, very positively. It is not only regarding 23-24, it is regarding earlier also, but still I will take it positively. Wherever the expiry drugs are there, no need, to keep it just like that. 1 year before the expiry of those drugs can be transferred to other PHCs, other district hospitals where the need is there. That they have to do, point number 1. Second thing is, there are 30-35 drugs which are not available, and if those drugs are essential, and a lot of hardships are the patients are facing there, the doctors are facing there. On a war footing, we need to see that those drugs are there in the hospitals, at least to 80%, if not 100%, 80-85% in the next 3 to 4 months is what I suggest, Sudha.
Okay.
These are the proactive things that we can do.
All right. And on that note, thank you very much. I've completely run out of time, Mr. Bhaskar Rao. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast. Satya Prakash, as always, such a great pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, sir.
And the next report is also coming from Bengaluru, so seems like it's a Karnataka special today. Reports reveal BBMP failed to collect fines worth 145 crores. What's the story? We bring it to you.
The beauty is of leadership being able to acknowledge and flex and mold.
All right, let's now cut across to Home Minister Amit Shah's special press conference. Take a look.
आज हम लोगों के मध्य देश के यशस्वी गृह सहकारिता मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी प्रेस वार्ता को संबोधित करेंगे। इस अवसर पर हम लोगों के मध्य भारतीय जनता पार्टी के यशस्वी अध्यक्ष और एवं देश के स्वास्थ्य मंत्री आदरणीय जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी हम लोगों के मध्य हैं। संसदीय कार्य मंत्री आदरणीय किरण रिजिजू जी हम लोगों के मध्य हैं। देश के वाणिज्य मंत्री आदरणीय पीयूष गोयल जी हम लोगों के मध्य हैं। सूचना एवं प्रसारण मंत्री आदरणीय अश्विनी वैष्णव जी हम लोगों के मध्य हैं। मैं आदरणीय अमित शाह जी से आग्रह करूंगा कि वो प्रेस को संबोधित करें।
मित्रों, आज की प्रेस वार्ता में आप सभी का स्वागत है। विगत सप्ताह में संसद में लोकसभा और विधानसभा, राज्यसभा दोनों जगह संविधान को स्वीकार किए हुए 75 साल के मौके पर संविधान की रचना, संविधान निर्माताओं का योगदान और संविधान में प्रस्तावित किए गए आदर्शों पर एक गौरवमयी चर्चा का आयोजन संसद के द्वारा किया गया। वो चर्चा में 75 साल की देश की गौरव यात्रा, विकास यात्रा और उपलब्धियों की भी चर्चा होनी थी। ये तो स्वाभाविक है कि जब लोकसभा में, राज्यसभा में पक्ष और विपक्ष होते हैं तो हर मुद्दे पर लोगों का नजरिया अलग अलग होता है, दलों का नजरिया अलग अलग होता है, वक्ताओं का नजरिया अलग अलग होता है। मगर संसद जैसे देश के सर्वोच्च लोकतांत्रिक फोरम में जब चर्चा होती है तब इसमें एक बात कॉमन होती है कि बात तथ्य के आधार पर होनी चाहिए और बात सत्य के आधार पर होनी चाहिए। कल से कांग्रेस पार्टी ने जिस तरह से तथ्यों को तोड़ मरोड़ कर रखने का प्रयास किया है, ये अत्यंत निंदनीय है और मैं इसकी निंदा करना चाहता हूं। ये क्यों हुआ? क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के वक्ताओं ने संविधान पर, संविधान की रचना के मूल्यों पर और जब जब कांग्रेस या भारतीय जनता पार्टी का शासन रहा तब शासन ने संविधान के मूल्यों का किस तरह से मूल्यांकन किया, संरक्षण किया और संवर्धन किया, इस पर फैक्ट के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी के वक्ताओं ने अनेक उदाहरणों के साथ जनता के सामने विषय रखे और उसमें वो तय हो गया कि कांग्रेस पार्टी आंबेडकर जी विरोधी पार्टी है, कांग्रेस पार्टी आरक्षण विरोधी पार्टी है, कांग्रेस पार्टी संविधान विरोधी पार्टी है, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने सावरकर जी का भी अपमान किया, कांग्रेस पार्टी ने आपातकाल डालकर संविधान के सारे मूल्यों की धज्जियां उड़ा दी, नारी सम्मान को भी सालों तक दरकिनार किया, न्यायपालिका का हमेशा अपमान किया, सेना के शहीदों का अपमान किया और भारत की भूमि तक को संविधान तोड़कर विदेशी देशों को देने की हिमाकत कांग्रेस पार्टी के शासन में हुई। जब ये पूरा सत्य उजागर हो गया, तब कल से कांग्रेस पार्टी ने फिर एक बार अपनी पुरानी पद्धति को आजमाते हुए बातों को तोड़ मरोड़ कर और सत्य को असत्य के कपड़े पहनाकर समाज में भ्रांति फैलाने का एक कुत्सित प्रयास किया है। संसद में जब चर्चा हो रही थी, ये सिद्ध हो गया कि बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर का कांग्रेस ने किस तरह से पुरजोश विरोध किया था। बाबा साहब के न रहने के बाद भी किस प्रकार से कांग्रेस ने बाबा साहब को हास्य पर ढकेलने का प्रयास किया। जब संविधान सभा अपना काम कर चुकी, चुनाव हुआ 1951-52 में और 54 में, दोनों बार कांग्रेस ने बाबा साहब को हराने के लिए कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी। यहां तक कि फ्रेंडली चुनाव होता है, स्पिरिट वाला चुनाव होता है, ऐसा चुनाव भी नहीं था। विशेष प्रयास किया गया और वो उनकी हार को सुनिश्चित किया गया। जहां तक भारत रत्न देने का सवाल है, कांग्रेस के नेताओं ने कई बार खुद ही अपने आप को भारत रत्न दिए हैं। 55 में नेहरू जी ने खुद को भारत रत्न दे दिया, 71 में इंदिरा जी ने खुद को भारत रत्न दे दिया और 1990 में बाबा साहब को भारत रत्न तब मिला जब कांग्रेस पार्टी सत्ता में नहीं रही और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के समर्थन वाली सरकार थी। 1990 तक कांग्रेस पार्टी बाबा साहब को भारत रत्न न मिले, इसका बड़े जतन से प्रयास करती रही। यहां तक कि बाबा साहब की जयंती को भी, 100वीं जयंती को भी मनाने का मना ही कर दिया गया। नेहरू जी की आंबेडकर जी के प्रति नफरत जग जाहिर है। नेहरू जी की खुद की किताब सिलेक्टेड वर्क्स ऑफ जवाहरलाल नेहरू सेकंड सीरीज वॉल्यूम 16, इसके भाग 2 की पृष्ठ संख्या 532 पर एक पत्र का उल्लेख है। जब बीसी राव ने नेहरू जी को पत्र लिखकर कहा कि आंबेडकर जी मंत्रिमंडल से इस्तीफा देकर जाने का मन बना रहे हैं, तब नेहरू जी का एक जवाब था, आंबेडकर के जाने से मंत्रिमंडल में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है। आंबेडकर जी के महान योगदान का मूल्यांकन जवाहरलाल जी किस तरह से करते थे, इससे बड़ा कोई उदाहरण नहीं हो सकता। जब पंडित जी की एक और किताब को पढ़ते हैं, लेटर टू चीफ मिनिस्टर में एक उल्लेख है, बंबई के मेयर ने एक पत्र में बाबा साहब के आंबेडकर के जन्मस्थान महू में उनका स्मारक बनाना चाहिए, ऐसा सुझाव दिया। 18 जून 1959 को पंडित जी ने कहा, सरकार के लिए स्मारक स्थापित करना बिल्कुल सामान्य बात नहीं होगी, आम